All right. Shalom, family. It's your brother Kanaiba coming at you once again with this video titled M.O.T.B. Human Trials. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. Okay. So before we even get started, I want to start off by apologizing. Okay. I want to apologize to you brothers and sisters because I know I've been gone a little longer than I'm usually gone. Okay. I just been having, a couple of minor things going on in my personal life. But, it's all a part of this temptation that we all have to go through in this walk. Okay. It's just simply business as usual. Okay. But all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, that I'm back and I have the honor and privilege to actually continue doing these videos, right? So, with that being said, let's actually get into the title of this video. And of course, as we see here, this is dealing with the human trials that Mr. Elon Musk has been given the green light to conduct, okay, by the FDA. Okay, here recently, he was just given the okay to go ahead with human trials, right? Now, we know originally they were actually doing these trials on monkeys, okay? But like I just said here recently, he's been given the go ahead to actually start with, doing his test trials on humans as far as this microchip goes in the brain. Okay, through his this company, Neuralink. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to get into this article from End Time Headlines, and I want to get some more information on what's going on here, and we're gonna go from there. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into the article. All right. Okay, so opening up, this is the article from End Time Headlines, and the title reads, it says the FDA approves Elon Musk putting a computer in a human's brain. Okay, so this is the article we're about to get into. Okay, so now let's move forward and let's see what's going on in this article. Okay. All right, so the article begins by saying this. It says Elon Musk's brain-computer interface company, Neuralink, says it has received Food and Drug Administration, FDA, approval to launch its first in-human clinical study. Okay, like I said, they've just gotten the go-ahead from the FDA to move forward. Okay, so we're seeing this gradualism towards the prophecy in Revelation, the 13th chapter, really coming into fruition. Okay, we this is just another step towards that prophecy being fulfilled. Okay, so it continues. It says, if this is true, it means that actual humans could be getting a device from Neuralink implanted in their heads. So let's continue. It says the news follows Elon Musk's November claim that Neuralink was about 6 months away from his first human trial. Well, let's pause right here. I could be reaching here, but I just find it mighty convenient that when he said this about the human trials, it was at that point in time, it was 6 months away. Okay. Now we know what the mark or the mark of the beast or the M.O.T.B is, but the number of the beast is what? 666. Okay. And when he made this particular claim, they were pretty much 6 months away from human trials. Okay. I just find that mighty curious. Now, again, I could be reaching on that part, but, you just got to look at these things from a spiritual vantage point. Okay. But anyway, let's continue. It says, which suggests it's the rare Musk promise that's actually coming true on time. So they had to put emphasis on, yeah, it's going to come true on time. Okay. But anyway, let's move forward with the article here. And it continues by saying this: the announcement of a future human trial isn't nearly as much of a milestone as the results of that trial. But this isn't just any trial. This represents Elon Musk, of all people, getting to attach a device to a human brain. Let's continue. It says, and it makes us wonder, who would sign up for such a thing and why? And this has been, something that I've been asking in videos that I've done about this M.O.T.B. I've asked the same question. Who would sign up for this? Who would, in their right mind, willingly put a foreign object into their body? Willingly. Okay, it makes no sense at all. But this is the same question that's being posed in this article. Okay, let's start from the top of that paragraph again. It says, it makes us wonder, who would sign up for such a thing and why? Will it be someone who might have an important medical reason? Or, let's scroll up some, or someone who wants to draw the world's attention at Musk's side? And is there any chance it's Elon Musk himself? Okay, let's continue. It says Musk has claimed he will get the device implanted in his own head at some unspecified time in the future. Now, when I read that part about himself, Elon Musk, actually getting this particular implant, implanted in his head, I see a bit of manipulation here. Okay. I see I see a Jedi mind trick. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay. If people see Elon Musk himself actually get this implant in his head, that will prompt people to be more willing to do it because they seen him do it. Okay. Because of his acclaim and his accolades in this society, his status. Okay, we all know what the Bible actually says about matters like this. Okay, let me explain what I'm talking about. Let's actually go to the script. Let's put this on pause and let's go to the scriptures real quick. Okay. All right, so going to the scriptures here. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 13 and verse 23. And it reads, it says, now watch closely. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look, what he saith, they exalt it to the clouds. Okay, now that's the point. That's why I said it just seems like very manipulative for Elon Musk to say that, I'm going to go ahead and get this chip in my brain. Okay, because just think about it, his status and the fact that he's top 5 or maybe even top 3 richest men on the planet. If people see and hear him, they hear him exalting this particular chip, trying to sell people on it, and then he himself actually gets this chip in his brain, that's going to then prompt others to actually try and follow suit. And a lot of people will do this, like I said, just simply based on him being a rich man and, his social status in this society. Exactly what this verse is talking about. Okay, so, don't marvel if he actually goes through with it. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Okay. But let's finish the verse out. It says, but if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. Now, guess what? We, the brothers in this truth that are actually speaking out against this particular chip, we would represent the poor man in this verse. Okay, we are the poor man that's on the internet, that's out there on the street corners warning people not to get this particular chip, but they'll look at us like we're crazy, like we're conspiracy theorists, okay? And our words hold no weight because we don't have a high status, a high social status in this society. So they look down upon brothers like us, even though what we're saying is true. Okay? But that's the point I wanted to actually make with this verse. Okay? Let's go back to the article and let's pick back up where we left off at. Okay? So going back to the article, and let's pick back up in the beginning of the second paragraph here. Okay? It says Musk has claimed he will get the device implanted in his own head at some unspecified time in the future. So we just went over that, right? It says, meanwhile, Neuralink has been accused of abusing its monkey test subjects. It says a claim the company denies. Well, let's pause this here just for a quick minute. And that's why, part of the reason why I did that video about PETA. Okay, remember End Time Headline, they put out the article about PETA, that company wanting to use that chat GPT, that artificial intelligence, to basically rewrite some of the New Testament to be more animal friendly. When just looking at this particular article right here, we see that it's hypocrisy. These people, and we know it's Esau behind it, they are the main people that abuse and kill these animals. Okay, they're responsible for the endangerment and extinction of really most of the animals that are endangered or extinct. Okay, but we clearly see here that they abuse the monkey test subjects. But in that article about PETA, they try to, put on this mask as if they care about animals, and they're using that as a scapegoat to try to rewrite parts of the Bible. Really, they want to rewrite the whole thing eventually. That's what it said in that article about PETA. Okay, but I just see it as highly hypocritical. Okay, not to digress too much, but anyway, let's get back to the article here. It says, let's start here again. It says Neuralink has been accused of abusing its monkey test subjects, a claim the company denies, and is under investigation for allegedly transporting contaminated devices removed from the monkeys. My question is, where were they taking these devices to begin with? Okay, these used devices that was inside these monkeys, where were they taking it? Okay, that's highly curious. Okay, but anyway, it's the article continues. It says the FDA rejected an early 2022 Neuralink. Let's move up here. And it continues, Neuralink. It says an application for human trials, as reported by Reuters, apparently outlining dozens of issues the company needed to address. Okay, so that's why they weren't allowed to go ahead with the human trials last year. Okay, so it continues. It says, according to the Washington Post, founded in 2016, Neuralink is privately held with operations in Fremont, California, and a sprawling under construction campus outside of Austin. It says the company has more than 400 employees and has raised at least $363 million. Okay, they raised, now that's curious too. Okay, now I could be reaching here, but just notice it says they raised at least $363 million. Okay, 363. Now, again, I could be reaching. Okay, I could be wrong about this part, but that 363, it just simply seems like an allusion to 666. Okay, you got to understand, a lot of times these people on the left-hand side, they will speak in code. Okay, but like I said, I could be wrong about that part. I could be reaching, but it's kind of suspicious. Okay, but anyway, it says according to data provider PitchBook. So it continues. It says, with Musk backing, Neuralink has brought, let's move up here. And it says Neuralink has brought extraordinary resources and investor attention, it says, to a field known as brain-computer interface, where scientists and engineers are developing electronic implants that would decode brain activity and communicate it to computers. Okay, so in other words, that this is going into the mergence. Okay, the merging of technology and humans. Okay, that's what I went into not too long ago. I don't know if you brothers and sisters remember, but remember I did this particular video right here. If you haven't watched it yet, just go back and watch it. But within this video, remember I said that there is a particular reason why the movie Megan had to come out this year in 2023. Okay, because the number 23 represents DNA. Okay, and what is this movie Megan is supposed to be representing? The mergence of technology and humans. Okay, and that's really what they're trying to do with this quote unquote brain chip. That's what we just read. They want to merge the two. Okay, just think about this. Okay, this movie Megan came out this year in 2023. Now, what else are we starting to hear more and more about this year? We're starting to hear more and more about this Chat GPT this year, the same year that this movie Megan came out. Okay, now what is this Chat GPT? Okay, let's get a little bit of information about this Chat GPT. Okay, so moving forward, here's a bit of information about this Chat GPT, and it reads. It says Chat GPT is an artificial intelligence chatbot developed by AI research company OpenAI. It says released in November 2022, it can have conversations on topics from history to philosophy, generate lyrics in the style of Taylor Swift or Billy Joel. It says, and suggests edits to computer programming code. Okay, so that's basically this Chat GPT is still dealing with artificial intelligence. And you see some of the things that it's capable of. Now, remember, that's why I mentioned that video I did about PETA, that company PETA. They wanted to use this Chat GPT to rewrite some of the things in the Old Testament to make it more animal friendly. And then within that same article about PETA, they said they eventually want to rewrite the whole Bible using this Chat GPT. Okay, so that's what we're going into here. Okay, but again, it's dealing with this artificial intelligence and merging technology with humans. Okay, that's why I said it's no coincidence that Megan had to come out in 2023. because again, 23 deals with DNA. Okay, and then now you're hearing more about this Chat GPT in the same year. Okay, that's why I said that movie Megan, to me, it seemed a lot like predictive programming. Okay, now, with that being said, don't marvel if sometime in the very near future, no later than maybe 2025, you may see the full implementation of the M.O.T.B. Now, I'm not saying for sure, but 2025 is going to be a very interesting year. Okay, in my view. Now, why do I say 2025? Okay, let's take a look at something here. Okay. Now check this out. It says Megan 2.0. Now look at the date. 2025. Okay, if you haven't got it yet, this is actually going to be the sequel to the original movie Megan that just came out this year. Okay, and it's set for 2025. Okay, let's actually get some information here. It says January 18th, 2023 at 1:08 p.m. Now, all of that, my spidey senses is going off here. Okay, now we know the number 18 is simply an allusion to 666. Okay, and it seems as if Universal Pictures put out this information January 18th. And look at what time it came out, 1:08. Now, again, when you're dealing with the gematria, all you do is just simply drop the 0 in 1:08, and that's still 18. It's still an allusion to 666. I mean, why put the time at 1:08? Why not just round up to 1:10? That makes no sense to me. Okay, but anyway, let's go back to the beginning here. It says January 18th, 2023 at 1:08 p.m. Universal Pictures. It says nothing to be alarmed about. As we told you, Megan 2.0 was inevitable, and Universal just set January 17th, 2025 release for the sequel to the Blumhouse and Atomic Monster hit film. Let's pause here for a minute. Now, the exact date that this Megan 2.0 is set to release is January 17th, 2025. Now, that number 17, when dealing on the left-hand side, it holds significance on the left-hand side. It represents rebirth. Okay, that number 17 actually represents rebirth or new beginnings. Now, to give you an example, just look at that movie 17 again. Now, there's two versions of that movie. Okay, you have the version with Zac Efron. Then you have the version with Tia and Tamara Mowry. Okay, both of them was 17 again. That's the name of both movies. Okay, and what basically happens, they go from an adult going back to being 17 again. But the point is, how it's very ritualistic the way that they actually become 17 again. And I don't want to give too much of the movie away, but it's by way of water that they actually it's a water ritual that they basically go through when they actually go back to being 17, because that number 17 represents rebirth. Okay, water is an agent that represents rebirth. Okay, not to digress too much, but again, there's a reason why this movie is set for the 17th of January. Okay, there's going to be a rebirth or a new beginning. That's what this movie may represent. Just throwing it out there. I could be wrong, but Again, we have to look at these things from a spiritual vantage point. Okay? But like I said earlier, the original Megan, the first one, to me, represented predictive programming. Okay? Because again, you had the first Megan come out this year in 2023. Now we're starting to hear more about this Chat GPT here in 2023. And now Elon Musk has been given the go-ahead to start human trials with this chip here in 2023. All of this is not a coincidence, okay? That number 23 represents DNA, and they're trying to merge technology with human DNA, okay, with humans, okay? But anyway, let's get back to the article here. Okay, so starting at the top here, it says, already companies like BlackRock, Neurotech, and Synchron have implanted their devices in people for clinical trials. It says, and at least 42 people globally have had brain-computer implants. Well, let's pause here for just one quick minute, and not to digress too much. Since we're on the topic of this number 42, okay, I've really been debating whether or not I want to do a video about this title 42 that's going on here, because that number 42, it actually has significance on both the left and the right hand side. Okay, and I really want to touch on more of the biblical significance of that number 42, and how that the whole title 42, it was really spiritual. Okay, because it's really dealing with the Northern Kingdom. That whole title 42, it was really implemented to keep the C19 from spreading. Okay, it was really about the C19 to keep that pandemic under control. Okay, so it was pretty much to keep a lot of the Northern Kingdom from crossing the border from there over here to North America. Okay, but now that the C19 is really not deemed a threat anymore. Okay, they've now dropped that title 42, and that's really what the whole situation is. Okay, they were using the C19, as a scapegoat to keep them out. Okay, they really wasn't supposed to use it as border control. But, I said all that to say this, that it's called Title 42. Okay, and that number 42 has a biblical significance. Okay, so I'm really debating on whether or not I'm going to do a video on it. Okay, if the spirit moves me and compels me to do it, I'll do it. Okay, but that number 42 is very important. Okay, biblically. Okay, but looking at the second paragraph here, it says such devices have enabled feats that once belonged to the realm of science fiction. A paralyzed man fist bumping Barack Obama with a robotic hand. It says a patient with ALS typing by thinking about keystrokes. It says a tetraplegic patient managing to walk with a slow but natural stride. Okay, so again, that's what this so-called brain chip is going to be, or what they're hoping it'll be capable of allowing people to do who have quote unquote different medical issues. Okay, so now let's move forward and let's wrap up the article here. So let's scroll up a bit. It says, while most companies seeking to commercialize brain implants are focused on those with medical needs, now watch closely, Neuralink has even bigger ambitions, creating a device that not only restores human function, but enhances it. It says, we want to surpass able-bodied human performance with our technology. Allow me to repeat that part. We want to surpass able-bodied human performance with our technology. Neuralink tweeted in April. So in other words, they want to be like the Most High. They actually want to be better than the Most High. That's what they're saying in the nutshell. If they're saying they want to surpass able-bodied human performance with their technology or the implant. Okay. Hence the title of my video. Their wisdom and knowledge, it hath perverted them. They think that they can surpass the Most High God of Israel. They think they can create a much better and more capable human being than the Most High has already created. This happens to be blasphemy, okay? But again, what more do you expect from Esau? Okay, let's actually get into the scriptures and let's deal with this, okay? Because Esau has a God complex. And we see that by this statement that they made, them wanting to surpass able-bodied human performance based upon their technology. Okay, so now let's get into the scriptures and then let's bring this video to a close. Okay? So going back to the scriptures, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 4. And it reads, it says, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. Let's pause here. Okay. Who is the modern day king of modern day Babylon? Okay. Because ultimately that's what this is dealing with. Okay. When you actually read this chapter. Okay. The modern day king of modern day Babylon would be Esau. Okay. And modern day Babylon would be what? America. It's Babylon the Great. All right. So it continues. It says, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Okay, so we went here to basically give some context about who this is talking about. Okay, it's talking about Esau. All right, so now let's jump down a bit and let's get to the point. Okay, so jumping down a bit, this is verse 13, and it reads, watch closely. It says, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. Let's pause for a minute. Okay, this just shows how high Esau has been exalted. Okay, and he's really dealing with his pride too. But he is in a high position right now. Okay, this actually lines up perfectly with the book of Obadiah. Okay, when you read the book of Obadiah, it talks about how Esau's habitation is high and how he hath said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Okay, because again, Esau is in rulership right now and he's in a high position. Okay, that's what he's in his heart. He's saying, I will ascend into heaven. Okay, it's not talking about actual heaven. It's dealing with rulership and being placed on a high position. Okay, so let's continue. It says, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. Okay, now, what does the stars of God represent? That represents us, the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, now you can look at this on your own time, but to precept this, to prove that point, you just simply go to Revelation, the 12th chapter and the first verse. Okay, remember how that chapter starts off? It starts talking about the woman that had a crown of 12 stars. It's letting you know that woman represented what? The 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, So him saying, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, he's basically saying he's going to be above the chosen people of God, above the children of Israel. Okay, when in fact the Bible tells us in Deuteronomy 7:6 that we, the children of Israel, are above all nations. Okay, and that in fact the other nations are looked at as spit in the eyesight of God. Okay, they're looked at as a drop that falleth from a vessel. Okay, I believe it's also in Isaiah 40 where it says that they are nothing and are counted less than nothing in vanity. Okay, but Esau, and dealing with the pride that he has, he actually thinks that he's above the 12 tribes of Israel. He believes he's above so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But guess what? That's not true. Okay? Again, his wisdom and his knowledge, it hath perverted him. And that's actually a verse we're going to go to. Okay? Which really was the inspiration for the title of this video. Okay? But continuing forward, it says, I will sit upon the mount of the congregation and the sides of the north. Now here is the point in the next verse. Now watch closely. It says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. Now watch this. I will be like the Most High. Allow me to repeat that part. I will be like the Most High. Did I not say that Esau has a God complex? He wants to be like the Most High. In fact, he wants to be above the Most High. Okay, again, that's why he believes that through his technology, he can cause people to surpass able-bodied people through this technology, that you can surpass basic human function through that microchip. Okay, that's what he believes. Through his technology, he can create an even better human being than the Most High created. Okay, and we're seeing in the end of verse 14, he is saying, I will be like the Most High. And we're not even starting to, but we're seeing that in real time. Okay. So from here, let's move forward, and we're going to go to Isaiah 47 and verse 10. And it reads, it says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Okay, and again, this is dealing with Esau. Okay, really Esau in America. Okay, that daughter of Babylon. Okay, is what this particular chapter is going into, which is Babylon the Great that you read about in the book of Revelation, right? So it says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. This is Esau. It says, thou hast said, none seeth me. Now watch closely. It says, thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. Again, this is the inspiration for the title of my video, and it's very fitting. Esau's wisdom and knowledge, and that's wisdom and knowledge on the left-hand side, mind you, it hath perverted thee. It's perverted him. Okay? This is why he believes that through his technology, through a microchip in the brain, that he can create a new and improved human being. A human being that's better than that of what the Most High has already created. Okay, his wisdom and his knowledge, it hath perverted him. Okay, and that's just one example. There's a whole plethora of others, but I'm staying on topic here. Okay, we're dealing with Esau's technology right here. Okay. Now let's continue. Now look at this very closely. It says, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. This sounds very familiar. Okay, and remember, I've been saying Esau has a God complex. Okay, if this phraseology doesn't sound familiar to you, let me refresh your memory. Okay, and further prove my point that Esau has a God complex. Okay, let's go a few chapters back here. Let's look at Isaiah chapter 43. And we're going to start with verse 10. And it reads, it says, ye are my witnesses, saith Yahweh, and my servant whom I have chosen. Okay, it's dealing with the children of Israel. It says, that ye may know and believe me. Now watch very closely and understand that I am he. Before me there was no God formed, and neither shall there be after me. Verse 11. I, even I, am Yahweh, and beside me there is no Savior. Okay, now if we look at the highlighted points in Isaiah 43 here in blue and compare it to at the top here of Isaiah 47 and verse 10, and look at the orange highlighted, compare the orange to the blue here. It's not exactly the same, but it's very, very similar phraseology. Why is that? That's because Esau has a God complex. Okay, we already read in Isaiah chapter 14 that he said, I will be like the Most High. That's all we need right there. He has a God complex. Okay, and his wisdom and his knowledge of the left-hand side, of course, had perverted him to really believe this, that he can be like the Most High. For him to believe that through his technology, he can create a more improved human being. Okay, it's really blasphemy if you really think about it. Okay, but anyway, let's move forward and let's end it with this. Let's move forward to the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 16. And it reads, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, watch closely, to receive a mark in their hand, in their right hand, or in their foreheads. That's why we're starting to see this gradualism moving towards, popularizing, getting a chip in your brain, in your head. Okay, that's why you're hearing all this buzz about Elon Musk and Neuralink being given the green light to move forward with human trials as far as the brain chip goes. Okay, but anyway, next verse, it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Okay, so it's going to get to a point where if you don't have this particular quote unquote mark and you're not down with the beast system, you're not going to be able to function in society. Okay, that's what this is going into. Okay, but at some point, this particular mark is going to be made mandatory. And we're gradually seeing them move towards this particular goal. Okay, and this is all for the Most High's will to fulfill prophecy. Okay, but anyway, I believe this is actually a good place to end the video. And again, the title of this video is M.O.T.B. Human Trials. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. Okay, so again, we went into this situation with Elon Musk. Of course, he's been given the green light to move forward with human trials as far as this brain chip goes with the company M.O.T.B. Okay, and the company M.O.T.B has stated, pretty much in a nutshell that, they want to go beyond, just meeting the needs of those who have, medical situations that need to be dealt with. They want to go past that. They want to use this particular brain chip to basically make new and improved human beings. Okay, that it's not even dealing with medical issues. Okay, they just want to improve, or they think they want to improve on what they think needs to be improved when it really doesn't. Okay, and they're not capable of doing that. Okay, Esau again has a God complex. He wants to be the Most High. Okay, but very, very soon, we already know that pride goes before destruction, and Esau's destruction is right around the corner. Okay, so with that, and as always, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High Yahweh, which is the name of the Heavenly Father, and I do so by Hashem, which means in the name of Yahweh Shai, which is the name of the only begotten Son of the Heavenly Father, whom the world knows as Jesus Christ. And I want to thank all you brothers and sisters for tuning in. I hope this video was informative and edifying. And until next time, Shalom, family.